Hey, you guys. Happy Thursday. I wanted to pop in for a power talk. I wanted to do it for a couple of reasons. First, because I haven't had time to do one in a few days. And second, because I got a new phone. So I'm using StreamYard for my phone for my new iPhone 12 Pro Max because I wanted to see if the sound quality is better and if the visibility is better. Because the reason that I upgraded my phone is because I noticed on the last few lives that I did that my sound quality just sucked. And what's the point of doing live if your audience can't hear you? So anyway, wanted to pop in, and I titled this power talk that you need to brand your business and brand your business and build your business and plan for your business like your bank account and your purpose depends on it, because it does. I taught a class last week about conversion and about how I grew a well into the six figures business, really leveraging social media. And everybody wants to know the secret to do that, and the secret is really consistency. And I have a lot of colleagues that do straight B2B business, and they don't use their social media in the way that I do. I even had one tell me years ago, like, I think you're doing too much social media and that you need to get off of it. But her core competencies and the type of audience that she's going after demands a certain amount of discretion. And that's where that knowing who your target audience is and who it is that you're trying to reach comes in, and is so important. Plus, I'm hyped because today has been a coaching day, so it's been back to back to back coaching for small business owners. So no matter how big I get, no matter how many Fortune 100 companies. Yesterday, shout out to the African American Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin, who entrusted me with their annual Breakfast of Champions, which I know raised well into the six figures for their fundraising. Their president and CEO announced that yesterday, and there was even an appeal for the Rise Milwaukee program, which helps startups and small business owners, African American small business owners in the city, and a 5-minute appeal by the effective communication coach Denise Thomas raised $10,000 during that event. And that's why I do the work. Accolades are nice, kudos are nice, checks are the best. So let's get it. Don't get it twisted. I do the work. It's my livelihood, but also the fact that as part of my livelihood, what I do for a living impacts lives and impacts communities and impacts other business owners, makes it that much more worth it and that much more better. And so I'm super excited for that, and I'm thankful. But anyway, so let's talk about, like, how do you do it? So I have been preaching for years that content is king, content is king, content is king. And so I told my class last week, if content is king, then conversion is queen. And so you think about the analogy of a king and a queen. And hey, Dawn, let me know, and anybody else that's out there listening, give me a hey, is the sound quality better? Can you hear me clearly? Can you see me clearly? I know maybe some movement compared to when I'm on my laptop. I'm doing this on my phone on purpose because I just want to test it out, because I want to get back to being able to go live in my car and you guys to be able to hear me, because a lot of times I'm moving around, and the reason I'm not going live is because the sound quality was so bad on my phone. So back to that whole content is king, conversion is queen. And so as I spend so much time coaching individuals, really the gap is the consistency of their content, or if they are consistently posting content, it's the fact that there's not a strategic moves beyond the content. And so they may post up, if they sell something, they may post up a great picture and it's aesthetically pleasing of what it is they sell. But then what does the caption say? Where's the call to action? Where did you ask someone to buy it? Where did you put your website? Where did you strategically place a build of community? The whole point of conversion is to take people from aware of what you do to engagement. And engagement doesn't happen until there's actually a purchase made, or until they actually like your page. Because for some reason, or not for some reason, for some people, they need time to watch you, because people buy from, do business with, engage who they know, like, and trust. And so you need to spend some time. And so many people quit because they think something isn't working, when really the truth is they just didn't give it long enough to resonate with the public. And I'm not saying spam your timelines. your post should not be the same every day. Your audience will get desensitized to hearing the same message. But hopefully you can be creative enough or hire someone creative enough to help you cultivate a message that you are sharing a consistent and cohesive message in a way that draws attention daily. I don't talk about too many different things. I mean, brand building, marketing, etc., is really my wheelhouse, and I talk about it often with you guys. I just hopefully try to bring it to you from a different perspective, that it maintains your interest and that you learn something new every time I open my mouth. So here's the thing. You have to increase your productivity. There's no way around it. And people don't want it. People hire people like me to manage their social media and to build their brand and to manage their marketing, because it is a whole nother job. Every single major company that you know of has either an in-house marketing team, or they have an external marketing team that they've hired, or they have both. There is a reason that that is a part of the budget, a big part of the budget for every business. So there is no way, startup, small business owner, medium business owner, even large business owner, that you're going to get around it. Your marketing is your message. Your brand is who you are, but your marketing is your message. And if you are not clearly articulating your message to the public, like your bank account depends on it, because it definitely does, you think so. As long as McDonald's has been around, the fact that they still running so many "I'm loving it" commercials, does that not prove to you how important marketing is? The fact that Amazon has branded their trucks and Peloton has branded their trucks, and you have Ford commercials. Ford invented the first car. Like Henry Ford invented the first car, the Model T. The fact that Apple is still doing commercials, the fact that all of these long-standing trusted brands still invest in marketing in a major way. The fact that when the Super Bowl hits every year, that we're all waiting on the commercials, and Doritos, they buying their spot, because it makes a difference. These versus battles that unfortunately last week's didn't happen, because hopefully Ashanti is healing from COVID-19. But the numbers that happen, and the way that they're able to drop new music, and the way that their followers and their engagement increases, and the way that some of these artists who were not relevant anymore became back relevant because they stepped into the new platform and smashed it, is proof in itself of what happens when you brand and planned like your bank account and your purpose depends on it. And if you're not that serious about it and you're not that engaged with it, then cool, be honest about that. You know, I met with a client today that said it's doing good, but it could be doing better. Okay, well, how do we get to better? Better is calling, higher is calling, like the name of Tyler Perry's book, which I loved, I read last year. So how do you go higher? The first thing you do is you make a commitment to yourself to increase your productivity. Guess what? I'm going to blow the whistle right now. You're never going to have the time. You have to make the time. You have to make the time, or you have to set aside the budget to pay someone else to make the time. But even in that, you have to manage it. It's not going to magically happen. And you have to set some goals. You have to decide, what does success look like for you? What do I want to get out of this? Is this just a side hobby? Is this a side thing? Is this just something cute that I'm interested in doing to keep me busy? Or is this something that I want to put my full-time job out of business? When I decided that I wanted to work for the Power Network full-time, I started looking at my day job as a funder for the dream, until the dream became a job. And that is a total mind shift. A lot of what's holding us back is mindset. And so what is your mindset like around what it is that you're endeavoring to do? Have you sat down? So many people want to skip the strategic planning and strategic goal setting. If you haven't sat down and had a strategic planning session with yourself or an expert, I have a $99 Power Hour out right now. And I'm running out of slots because we got Christmas, we got New Year's in there, because people aren't playing. People buying 1 hour, they buying 2 hour, because normally it's $250 to $300 an hour to get my time. So people are like, I'm gonna buy up as many hours as you will allow me to buy up. And normally I don't allow you to buy more than one, but I've been feeling gracious this Christmas because I realize that there's a need. And everyone thinks like, oh, in 2021, I'm hoping we can do this. I'm hoping we can do that. If you're watching the CDC, if you're watching the government, if you're listening to the president-elect, they don't expect the world to go back to normal to 2022. I made a majority of the money that I made this year helping people pivot to virtual. How will you pivot your business to be more, especially if you've got a brick and mortar, to be just as impactful in the virtual space? People keep asking me about Clubhouse. I'm going to do a live about, I am on Clubhouse. No, I can't invite you. You only get one invite. You got to find somebody else. I used mine. But I mean, there are people on Clubhouse with 1,000 followers, people that are sitting in their room listening to their conversations all day, listening to what it is that they have to share, listening to what it is that they have to offer. And it's one of those, some things come and go and you're like, eh. Now, I'm not saying Facebook not gonna come in and undercut them, because if you think about what Facebook is doing with Reels, 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 so that's the 15-second video clips, and the way that they have prioritized them in the algorithm, that is Facebook's, who also owns Instagram, way of competing with TikTok. They're like, man, too many people are on TikTok and they spending just as much time on TikTok, the young people, as they are on Facebook and Instagram. And we're actually losing young people to Facebook and Instagram. So if you remember, they came up with stories to compete with Snapchat. So now they've come up with Reels to compete with TikTok. Because when you are a business owner, you watch the evolution and you watch the competition and you watch what's happening in the marketplace and you figure out a way to answer it for yourself. That is part of strategic planning. That is part of goal setting. That is part of figuring out what your target audience is into and meeting them where they are. So increase your productivity, because if you don't have leads, you don't have anything to convert. So many people meet with me and they're like, I want to convert, I want to convert, I want to convert. Well, you only got 40 followers. First thing we need to do is beef up what you got going on out there. I mean, and if your product is expensive enough and all we need to do is convert them 40, well, we can double down on that. But a lot of times, you know, and so it's a quality over quantity thing. I'm not mad at that. If you selling a $50,000 product and you only want to convert them 40 people for that 50 grand, go for it. But for most people, that is not the case. And so you have, but again, that goes back to knowing what it is you want to do. If you aim to convert your followers into customers, you have to focus on increasing your productivity. Dedicate a few minutes daily for social media marketing. And if you don't have a few minutes daily to do it, which I will tell you, that's a best case scenario. But if you don't have that, then set aside a time on a Sunday evening or set aside time on Saturday morning. Or, you know, I love Mary Kay Ash's book. Mary Kay Ash is the founder of Mary Kay. She has left us many years ago. But Mary Kay always says she got up an hour before the rest of her family. And by doing so, she added 8 extra hours in her week by getting up and doing preparatory work before her children got up. She was a single mother for a majority of her career, built a multi-million-dollar empire that is still helping women build multi-million-dollar empires. And so some things just work. Streamline your social media activities. There are scheduling platforms. I'm going out of town tomorrow and I have a client that has a serious campaign going on right now. I just sat here and it literally only took me 7 to 10 minutes to schedule every post that needs to happen for them from today until Tuesday, because I already had the captions written. I already had the graphics created. So it was just a matter of scheduling them on Facebook and Instagram so they push out. So while I am on a actual vacation, I can be on actual vacation. Make your content more productive by posting at the correct times. Do you know when your audience is on? The most active days on social media are Wednesdays and Thursdays. Mondays, people need to get to work and focus in. They need to catch up on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sundays, people need to seem to be out and about. Now, it'll be interesting to me to see if the statistics change in 2021, because more of us are at home. We're working at home. We don't got our boss over our shoulder looking at our computer. We can be looking at our phone and our computer at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see if the stats change. But so far from what I've seen, they haven't changed. And the middle of the week is around the time that people hit a slump. That's why they call Wednesday hump day. So they're looking for something to do. Analyze your content. What are you putting out there that's getting your highest leads? What are you putting out there? You know, Facebook sends you these messages, especially if you have a business page that says this video is performing 80% higher than everything else you post. Now, what I tell people that if you don't ever post, of course that video is going to have a higher conversion rate, because it's comparing it to the last time you posted a video a year ago. But if you post regularly and you see something that works, then continue to figure out how to use things that work. Which are your best posts? What are the best time for posting updates? When do you seem to get the most lift? Track your competitors. Competition is a bad word. It's somebody out there doing what you do. There's nothing new under the sun. And there's somebody out there doing it at the best level. There's somebody out there doing it at a level and achieving the money, the profits, the followers, etc., that you dream about. Find out who they are. Look at how they move. I'm not saying imitate them. Similar is not the same, but I'm saying study. When you go to school, when you go to college, you are studying a craft to become better at it in your own unique voice. That is how you should look at it when you are studying your competition. Burger King is not trying to be McDonald's, but best believe they studying them, and vice versa, and trying to figure out what works. Tempt your followers by creating stories, giving offers, providing experiences. Tell a story. You have free real estate out here with social media. Why are you not using it? Why would you post a picture without a caption? Why would you not have a call to action in everything? And I'm not talking about a used car salesman call to action. I'm talking about a call to action that just says, by the way, if you want to see more like this, hit my website. I'm saying, why not a free survey? I'm saying, and the point in doing that is to gather email addresses, because one of the best things that you can have is a great email list that you can not spam, but you can share value-added information with, that you can create a newsletter around, that you can send blogs to, etc. You have to persuade your audience to turn them into loyal customers. There's a whole class at Yale called Persuasion Marketing, and there's all kinds of books about it. And it is true. Almost everything that we do in our life, there takes some persuasion to do it. You know, my husband want to go eat somewhere. If my kids want me to buy them something, they are using their gift of persuasion in order to talk me into doing something that wasn't necessarily on my mind. I'm down to something as little as if we want McDonald's for dinner. They persuade me into that. That wasn't on my mind. That's something that they wanted to do. And so think about how you can persuade your audience. Keep your offers fresh and interesting. Create a story which every fan embraces like it's their own slice of life. I always tell people, you want to create a space on the internet that people fall in love with, that even if the algorithm removes them from your timeline, that they go looking and say, man, I wonder what Chantel up to. I wonder what the PowHER Network up to. I wonder what Alexa's up to. I wonder what Dawn up to. I wonder what, whoever else is watching. I wonder what you up to. If you haven't created a space like that, then you haven't created a loyal fan base that it can eventually convert into actual clients. Set goals and plan your campaigns well. You should have a campaign. If you do not have a campaign when you know you're leading up to something, think about, we just went through an election and they had a campaign. It was a campaign to win over our vote. It was a campaign to win over our trust. It was a campaign to win over believing in whichever person you voted for. You should approach your marketing in the same way. Give yourself a running start by creating campaigns. Make your fans and followers feel special. Engage with people. Without them, there's no you. They're huge advocates. They've grown your sale. So that's the least you can do, is pay them back. Say thank you. I appreciate you. Share their stuff when they have stuff going on. Comment to them. Build rapport. Because if you don't do that, then all you've done is build a monument to yourself and your business. And you've shown a lack of humility and a lot of ego in it. And guess what? Pride is not a good thing. Mention your followers. Give them a shout out. Thank them for being supporters. Just think about how effortlessly that is. That's a quick share. Be loyal to your fans. Be loyal back. The people that support me, I support them too. And I support people that don't support me. I support people that I've never even met. I'm just a support her, period. Because I believe that what we put out into the universe, we get back. So how are you supporting? What are others reading? What's going on? I mentioned at the beginning of this about Clubhouse. Do you even know about it? Do you know what's going on? Do you know what's happening in the marketing stratosphere if you're trying to do your own marketing? If you're trying to do your own marketing, then you need to figure that out. And last but not least, monitor, analyze, and measure your numbers. Know your numbers. Money will come and go. Clients will come and go. Followers will come and go. Engagement will come and go. But if you know your numbers, you know what works, what doesn't work, you know what happens. So for example, this time of year, usually people are buying our launch your brand, refresh your brand bundles. It's like new gym memberships, but priorities have changed, buying behaviors have changed, etc., because of the pandemic. So, okay, things change. How do we pivot? What do we do different? People are scared. They don't know what next year looks like. They don't know if they should be launching a brand in 2021 with everything that's going on. I respect that. So then how else can we help them? What else can we do? Who else can we work with? Who's existing out there? This may not be the time for startups this time of year like it normally is. This may be the time to help existing brands reimagine what it is they do. But that goes back to that strategic planning session that my team and I have with an expert in the room. Even though I'm an expert in the room for other people, you need someone who can look outside of what it is that you do and speak into you. Someone who has been where you're going, has achieved what you're trying to achieve, and can speak to you from a place. Too many of us are being mentored by failures. Don't be sitting there trying to thought partner and build with people who have not experienced success in what it is that you're trying to do. What qualifies them to then be an expert or a strategist or a consultant for you? So all of these things are mission critical. So I would love to talk to any of you listening, to this. I would love to have a power hour with you. Power hour, I realize this. Of all the things I do, spending an hour with people talking about their hopes and their dreams and helping them see how making a little tweak here and there or a big tweak here and there can really change the game for them and their business. It excites me, it exhilarates me, and that's why I do it. That's why I leave space for that $99 power hour. So you can cash out #power if you want to get in where you fit in, or you can PayPal it, or you can Apple Pay it, whatever works. We take all, or you can send it through Facebook. You can inbox me after if you have questions about it. But I will tell you, I can't change your life in an hour, but I can set a foundation for you and put you on a trajectory for success. And if you haven't done anything, if you haven't gifted anything to yourself, I will tell you that this is the gift that you will get a definite return on investment, and that could change what 2021 looks like for you, your family, and your bank account. All right, you guys, I'm going to go. Peace, love, power. I'm out.